you can get scratches. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling Serenity Sunday. Yeah, we love Sundays. We get to sit back, kick back, relax, and do whatever we want. So today this morning we talked about our morning mystery drive and everything else. This afternoon we went, Vicky and I went and did our laundry together. We went and sat in the library. It was actually quite nice. We decided to go sit in the library. It was a little more comfortable. And it was a nice library. We had got to talk with the volunteers who volunteer in the library as well. And they were busy rearranging the bookcases and things. So we had talking with them, and somehow it slipped that I used to work in a library years ago, that I have library experience. And then my friend volunteered to, when he comes back next year, to volunteer to do because all the DVDs they have locked in cases. Now, any other RV resort I have been to, the DVDs have been in a box, and you just go help yourself, and it's take it and return it and that sort of thing. But in this one, they actually have them locked into a case, and they need somebody there to sign them in and out. So she's volunteering to do that when she next comes back, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, it was a lot of fun sitting in there while the laundry was washing and drying and that sort of thing. And then I had this and then she mentioned, she said, oh, somehow Panera Bread came up, so we thought we'll do that for dinner tonight. And I said, yeah, I've got a hankering for their tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. And she said, oh, that sounds good. So after we did the laundry and stuff, I dropped her off at her RV. We came back over here. I took Zeffy out for a walk, and then I went back and picked up Vicky and of course Zeffy's in the back of the car, and we got off to Panera Bread. We decided to do the drive-through. There was a couple of cars in front of us which left by the time we got to place our order, because they actually held us there to place our order. We had so much fun placing the order. I don't know what the guy thought he had in the drive-through, but my friend had a very sweet tooth, and so decided that she wanted a dozen cookies, and she said, we're going to split them with you. And I'm like, okay. But I'm not really a cookie person, but that's okay. That's fine. And so he didn't have a dozen chocolate chip cookies. He didn't have any chocolate chip cookies. He had no chocolate croissants left. So I was like, what do you have? And she said, well, just give me a dozen of whatever cookies that you had. And based on the cookies that he had left, he was able to actually create a dozen cookies. And I think we might have wiped them out of cookies. But by the time we got the order placed and then got up to the window, the drive-through was full. And we left, and there were all these cars at the drive-through waiting to place orders. It was full, but it was a lot of fun. So I just finished my creamy tomato soup with my toasted cheese, with my grilled cheese sandwich. It was delicious, very delicious. And we couldn't wait for the sweet thing, so we had the oatmeal and raisin cookies on the way home, and those are so good. I love the way Panera Bread makes them. They got the crispy, well, not crispy, but crunchy outside, and the inside is soft, and it's so good. And so I dropped Vicky off at her RV, and we split up all the food and that, and I came back here to have dinner and do my live and thing, and she's doing her stuff for this evening. And have you seen Zeffy's hedgehog that Vicky bought her? This is her hedgehog. Poor Vicky, it was when Vicky gave it to Zeffy, she bends over to give it to Zeffy, and Zeffy's trying to pull it out of her, sniffs it and then starts wanting to pull it out of her hand and trying to play with it while it was still in Vicky's hand. It was hilarious. But, that thing's been in her bed on the dash. She brings it down. She plays with it. She was here by herself in the RV while we were doing the laundry, which took a couple of hours. But I'd left on Lord of the Rings, the extended version, so 3 hours and 58 minutes. So she had plenty of movie left by the time I got back. And I leave treats hidden around the RV for just the little training treats that are like about yay big. And she will go and eat those, and I give her a chew stick to chew on while we're away as well. So I told Vicky, I said, I came back in, put the laundry in the bedroom, and sat back down on the chair for a bit just to relax before taking her for a walk. And the next thing I know, Zeffy jumps off her bed on the dash with her chew stick in her mouth. I had left it on the floor. It was nowhere to be seen when I got back. I thought she'd already eaten it. And she jumps down off her bed with it in her mouth and lays down on the floor and proceeds to eat it. So she had it tucked safely in her bed. She was the only person in the RV, well, the only dog in the RV while we were out, but she had to make sure that her chew stick was safe. and that's fine. So, Vicky wanted to take me out for an early birthday celebration since she wouldn't be here for my birthday. So we did the Panera Bread thing, and it's actually been a really, really fun Sunday. Trying the new dog park this morning, going for the drive around and showing her some of the things, and then getting our laundry done, and then going to Panera Bread and picking up dinner and bringing it back again. So it's been a really, really good day. I haven't had a day out and about like that with anybody in, I can't remember when. The last time that just had, a couple of friends just hanging out, going here and there, doing this, that, and the other thing. And but one thing we did notice at the dog park is that everybody bought their own bowls and water, and one of them had one of those Coleman or Igloo cooler things that are about yay tall and they're about this round, and they just unscrewed the top and their dog would start drinking. Well, my dog is as bold as anything, I tell you. I didn't have her water bowl was in the car, so I hadn't taken it in the park, so I didn't know. Well, I didn't even check to see what the water thing was. Everybody has their own bowls and stuff for their dogs. So this dog goes up. The owner takes the lid off. The dog starts drinking out of this cooler thing, and Zeffy goes over, and when her dog pulled her head out, Zeffy's head's in this thing drinking water. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like halfway across the park at the time when I see her doing this, and I'm like looking all around like that is not my dog doing. But I thought it was a really cool way to carry water for a dog because you could keep it cold and you just unscrew the lid and they can stick their head in there and drink it away. And her head almost completely disappeared. You could see her neck, and it almost disappeared into the corner. Like the opening's like about so big, but Zeffy just stuck a whole head in there and carried it. As soon as the other dog pulled his head out, Zeffy put her head straight in. So the woman didn't even have time to put the lid on or even move. And Zeffy had a great big long drink of water and then comes running over towards me and veers away as she gets close to me. So, but I thought, that's a really cool idea. So we'll have to look at getting her one of those for when we go to the parks and things, so we can take the top off. She gets to drink it and put the top back on, that sort of stuff. But anyway, it's been a really fun day. I did get to do a little bit of writing in the library because after I put my stuff in the dryer, Vicky wanted to stay with her laundry. She had a sweatshirt that she didn't want to shrink in the heat of the dryer, so she just wanted it to dry for a certain amount of time before she took it out. So I went back to the library and sat down and got some writing done. Picked up a Reader's Digest off the shelf and was when we were first in there while the washing was in the washing machine, and read some of the funny things. I love Reader's Digest. Thing I like about Reader's Digest is they have those little pages like laughter of life or something like that, and then there's another funny thing somewhere along, and they have the little funny things at the bottom of articles, and they have different pages that are headed up with funny stories and that sort of thing. So it was fun. We were sitting there reading those things and cracking up laughing, and we had and yesterday at the Leverage conference we had Karen McNamara talking to us, and she teaches people how to communicate with the 5 different generations that are around. And there was one of the things in the Reader's Digest that said, me and my it's talking about music. So me and my teens, this radio station is playing my jams. Me in my 20s, this bar is playing my jams. Me in my 30s, this grocery store is playing my jams. I thought that was so cute because it's somebody going through the different generations about how they get their music, where their music is being played depending on what era you grew up in. And I'm like, there's a lot of times I've gone to the grocery store and they've got the 80s music playing, and there was one time I was like dancing down the aisle getting the groceries off the thing, and Brad's like, what the heck are you doing? I'm like, they're playing a really good song. And he's like, so what are you doing? I said, dancing. I mean, going grocery shopping with Brad was fun. It's not fun anymore. It's just me. And I used to, because when I was in the supermarket, we had fun in the supermarket together. And I love going to the supermarket with him because, I would I was somehow getting a silly mood at times and do crazy stuff. And he just made it fun. It was just sort of like a fun thing to do, to go grocery shopping together, and having the silly little arguments of, you're not getting that. Yeah, I am. Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to do da 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 da. Make this sort of a dish with it. Well, I've never had that dish. I said, well, He says, what's in it? And I says, I don't know because I haven't made it up yet. But my favorite thing with him, oh my gosh, this was so funny. I loved doing this. And he would just stand there and just roll his eyes and go, aha. Was when we were checking out, he would always empty the shopping cart because he would put all the frozens together, all the refrigerated items together, all the canned items together, all the bottles together, all the packet stuff together. He would have it laid out on the conveyor belt by, is it frozen? Is it not frozen? Is it a cleaner? Is it not a cleaner? That sort of stuff. So he would have it all laid out along the conveyor belt. And then he would come and stand behind the handle of the trolley, and we'll be standing there together just looking around, and all of a sudden, it wasn't all the time, but occasionally I'd look over at the tabloids and just read the headings on the tabloids, and I'm like, really? You really want to say that person's baby's an alien and they got proof and all this sort of stuff? And so some of the more weird ones, I suddenly turn around and I would grab Brad and go, have you heard? And he'd look at me and go, heard what? And I would repeat whatever headline was on a tabloid magazine. And he'd go, what on earth are you talking about? And of course, I wouldn't keep it quiet. I would say it just loud enough so like the cashier could hear it, or the people behind him could hear it, or maybe the people in the aisles next door could hear it. So, not broadcasting it, but just a little quiet broadcast around. And he goes, what are you talking about? I says, look, it says it right there on that magazine, so it must be true. And he would just stand there, roll his eyes and go, aha. Meanwhile, I'd be cracking up laughing. But he never knew, and the thing was, he never knew when it was going to happen. And that's what made it so much fun, is that it's just whenever the urge overtook me to do this with him, he never knew when it was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to happen because I never planned, today I'll see what's on the tabloids. No, it was always spontaneous. It was something that was always spontaneous, but I always kept my eyes open for, what's on the TV guide, what's on the soap opera guide digest or whatever it was, what's on the tabloids, what's on the cover of that. And then if some headline would catch me, I'm like, I've got to do that one. And that's when it's at that moment that I would decide to do that. So that was some fun things, but I don't get to do that anymore with anybody. So shopping's not as fun as it used to be. So that's why I'm happy I got like Instacart, where I can just put my order in and somebody can go pick it up for me and bring it back here. And it cuts down on impulse buying too. So, because I always tend to I'm going to go grocery shopping, because I'm always not in the best mood, so I end up buying more than I should. But sitting here, I go, I've got to do groceries today, have my list, just go down the list, boom, 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 put it in. It's going to be ordered in, it'll be delivered in a couple of hours or whatever time I set, and I don't have to think about it, except for when they send me messages going, hey, this isn't in, do you approve this as a replacement? So, we didn't get these because they didn't have any that looked good. Like with my blackberries, I like blackberries, and they put in there one time that says, these are not, you want the blackberries, but they're not looking really good, and I can't find any good ones. Would you want me to substitute them for something else? They said they've got strawberries or they've got raspberries or whatever, and I just turned around and said, nope, just refund it. And so they would put it through, I'd approve the refund and all of that. So you get some really good shoppers for you. You really do. But anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to go kick back, relax. I've just got a full belly with my creamy tomato soup and my grilled cheese sandwich. It was so good. And I think I have like 4 cookies from the dozen. I've only got 4. I think it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I'm probably going to end up putting them in the freezer for now. Because I may do that. I may put them in the freezer for now. To when I feel like having something sweet. Because I like to eat my sugar. If I'm going to do sugar stuff, I like to do it early in the day rather than late at night. Because then I don't stay up all night. But anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning. Oh, hello. You come out to say hi. Come on. She's annoyed because she didn't get any soup or any sandwich. She's like, you didn't give me any of your dinner. No, I did not. But anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Fun Friday. No, it's not fun. Cheapers. Magic Monday. It's Magic Monday tomorrow, not Fun Friday. It's Magic Monday. So we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Magic Monday. Hey, konera.